Courier. I'm Kyla Woods. Well, Kroger has changed a lot. We're not just talking about the layout or the sheer size of some of the stores these days, but it's much more than a place to get your regular groceries. On the front page centerpiece this week, go home with Kroger. You'd be excused if you walked in and thought you had stumbled into a restaurant. Your neighborhood Kroger is inching closer to becoming a carryout. Courier editor Rob Dahmeyer talks with reporter Steve Watkins about how the grocery giant's bet on prepared food could set it up for big post-COVID-19 growth.
Thank you very much. And Steve, thanks for being here.
Glad to do it.
Great story on Kroger in the weekly edition this week. Well worth everybody's time. Let's talk about it for a couple minutes. Why is Kroger expanding its prepared food offerings to begin with?
Well, there are a few things going on. One is from the consumer standpoint. They don't have much time anymore. That's clear. And they still want to have restaurant quality prepared foods. And one thing one of the analysts told me is a lot of people, especially younger people, they grew up in households where both parents worked. They never really learned a lot of cooking skills. So these prepared foods enable them to make these real high quality foods at home without having a lot of expertise. And then from Kroger's standpoint, the margins on these prepared foods are double what they are for the normal grocery sales. Wow. And the sales themselves of prepared foods are growing at triple the rate of grocery sales. So it really helps them out a lot financially.
So yeah, this is really a perfect way for them to grow. What has Kroger done to expand what it offers right now?
Yeah, they've added several things in recent years, everything from cluster truck, which is a way for them to use these, what they call dark kitchens. They're kitchens without a restaurant attached. They make a variety of foods from that kitchen and then deliver it to customers. They're doing this so far in Indianapolis and Columbus, but expect them to add cities for that. Kroger has added Home Chef. They bought about 2 years ago. It's a prepared meal kit company, and that thing has grown like crazy, especially during the coronavirus shutdown. People aren't going out to restaurants as much anymore, obviously. Other things they've added are one's called Sautés. It's a case near the meat and seafood area. It's frozen ingredients. Basically, you throw it in a pan, heat it up for 10 minutes, and you've got a meal. And it's a very high quality meal. So a lot of things like those they've added. They're also continuing to add, they're going to add some more Home Chef branded prepared meals that'll be in their meat and seafood department and a lot of things like that. So they're also adding soups for Home Chef and salads that tested well in California. So a lot going on for Kroger.
Yeah, I mean, once upon a time, Kroger was a sleepy grocery store chain, and we would write about them. You would write about them, and it was always about some incremental change in something. But with all the changes in that industry right now, it's a very dynamic company and a very dynamic industry. Speaking of dynamic, how does this push into prepared foods or to expand prepared foods help it against competitors, specifically Amazon with its Whole Foods and other brands?
Yeah, well, it's huge. Amazon, good point. They're by far the biggest competitor when you get into these kind of things, because Amazon, while they own Whole Foods, but they're not enormous in the grocery industry, but obviously in delivery and e-commerce, they're the 900-pound gorilla. Right. And so this helps Kroger a lot in that category. I talked to an analyst at Bartlett downtown, James Lewis. He told me that Kroger executives have said to him they'd rather have the stores all set up and have to build the infrastructure for e-commerce rather than the other way around. And that's the other way around is what Amazon has to do. Kroger has 5 times the amount of stores Amazon does. And this shows that Kroger can compete in these prepared food areas and sell a lot of it online.
Well, there's a lot to keep track of, and these are actually really fun stories just as a reader for me to read. And you've been on top of this whole thing, and I'm sure we'll have much more to come on this as Kroger continues to roll out new ways of selling food. Thank you very much for being here, Steve, and we really appreciate your time.
Glad to do it.
All right. Have a great day.